Hello everybody, welcome back once again. We are playing Clair Obscur Expedition 33. This of course is my New Game Plus. And this is going to be the last video, which is Lumiere. Let's head on in and we'll get these scenes started.
Wait for us here. It's dangerous for you near Papa. We'll have to move fast. I can't maintain them for very long. Tomorrow comes.
I love that shot. Might have to make that a thumbnail. Anyways, let's head on in here. The color tweaks a little here. Oh, get wrecked. Was this the flag that we couldn't use for some reason? It's so weird.
Useful.
Yeah, why would that be the case? Why would they make this flag here not usable? Doesn't really make sense to me.
These expeditioners are glorious wreakers of havoc.
The sword of Lumiere.
Sword of Lumiere? I thought that was Simon. Cocaine spike arrow.
Nice.
Some chroma. I don't know that we'll really need that, but we'll see. Chroma. That was an enemy. I was like, where's that giant hand coming from?
The elements dance. So much potential. Meet your reckoning. So much potential.
Okay. It's quite the party.
the storm. Meet your reckoning.
I don't remember if there was anything the side street really on the other side, but I guess we can check. Oh, here's the can, or the trash can. There's a message inside. Actually, I am gamaging like everyone else.
Looks like my plan didn't work.
Oh, here he reads it out.
During my time in this trash can, I found a rare treasure. I'm trusting it to you now. Farewell.
How would he know that he was gamaging and have enough time to write? That actually doesn't make any sense at all. Well, I actually am gamaging. Well, like everybody gamages within about 5 seconds, so it doesn't seem like he'd have enough time to write that message.
Useful. The elements dance. Elements converge.
Blam, 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 blam.
Meet your reckoning.
Okay. Alright, so I think we do want to go back this way first. Of course, this is where we started out in the prologue, at the very beginning of the game. Energizing, powerful, leveling up. See anything else up here? All right. Okay, let's see.
Good stuff.
The 32s. Now is our chance.
The 32s.
Chroma is flowing.
I'm actually not sure why she's commenting on that there, the 32s. Like, are we fighting the 32s? Is that what she's suggesting there? Oh. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know about that. I don't know what that comment is in reference to. I could see them... Okay, so the 32s maybe got... Actually, everybody got gamaged, right? Here in Lumiere. That kind of seems like that was the... what Renoir did at the end of Act 2, right? So then did Renoir remake the 32s here in town? I don't know if that's what they're trying to suggest. But that really wouldn't make sense with... Like that, I don't feel like that would fit with the rest of the game. There's the Wolfison leveling as well. And I only say that because, as far as I know, Clair is the only one that paints over someone else, right? Which would be her mother's version of her. So it doesn't seem like that would be something that Renoir would be able to do. The kind of weird thing, though, is someone says at some point in the game that Aline is the, well, I guess, I don't know if they say that she's the strongest painter, but I think that actually might be the case. But I know certainly that they say somebody, and it may be Clair actually, that says that Aline is the stronger painter of the two, but you know, she could be referring to Renoir. Well, she is referring to Renoir and Aline. Yeah, I don't know what's going on. I mean, obviously these are people, right? I just don't know if these are gamaged 32s that Renoir has somehow brought back, but that also seems like that very well might be what's being said.
Meet your reckoning.
I think that is it, right? Got everything out in there. Yeah, that's probably something that I might need to look into.
He's at the tower.
Yes.
You know, there hasn't been an aspect of like painters controlling people. So again, I really am curious what's happening, because obviously, again, we are fighting what appear to be expeditioners. Isn't it beautiful here? Her paintings are always astonishing. Yet I wish you would understand. Understand what? Just what it means for me to paint. What do you mean? The boy has gone silent. I wish you would understand what it means for me to paint. So I also don't know if... I assume that he's referring to his mother, Aline.
Nice.
There's a charging stun upgrade. Yeah, he must be referring to Aline because he doesn't speak about Clair's that way, right? Like, all Clair has done is create Nevrons here, which he never describes in a positive way. So he must be referring to as Aline in that conversation. Here's the shattered alley. That's pretty badass. Just runs through, zaps a dude, and he's like, alright, peace out. I think this is just a big loop here around this building, but let's take a look.
Nice.
Yeah, it's a big loop here. Yeah, this stuff all looks like the Renoir's draft stuff too. So this is, I mean, I guess it really wasn't a question to me on who created these, whatever these are.
your reckoning.
It's also weird because you never really fight, you know, humanoid stuff aside from like Renoir himself. It's all, you know, what seems to be pretty obviously like Nevrons. Oh, I guess there's Simon as well, though, right? Simon Clair. Yeah, it's any of the like painted family. And then again, I guess technically Simon, who I guess also was an expeditioner.
Thunder. Strike quick.
Good stuff.
Good stuff.
Now's our chance. Feel the storm. Let the ink flow. Meet your reckoning.
Lost chance.
Dude's got a lot of health, but he's extremely slow,
Not looking good.
as evidenced by all of my characters getting multiple turns before he gets one. 3.5 mil? Jeez, lady.
Roma is flowing. Now was our chance. Prepare to meet your
Mayhem.
Finesse and grace. I'm okay.
Wow, okay, 2.2.
Let's carve a path.
We're regressing in terms of damage.
Let's carve a path.
Yeah, that thing had really high defense. Perfect chroma catalyst.
Nice.
Boom. Alright. Oh, the log for Expedition 60 is coming up. I can feel it. I can feel their glistening muscles.
The Opera House.
Lumiere has suffered so much damage. There's something in the water. Ask SEA to bring it to the surface. The Journal of Expedition 60. A legendary expedition known for its unorthodox tactics. And of course it's broken, so I'm gonna have to go back into the other menu. So weird. Alright, 60.
William, Expedition 60. They mocked us when we said the human body is the strongest of them all. We trained relentlessly, and now our bodies have achieved the pinnacle of human performance, with which we are able to crush our enemies. We are so much more agile and aerodynamic without the heavy uniforms constraining our glorious muscles. With Leslie's unstoppable training regime, we are impervious. That's how we were able to charge through that ghostly Gamage barrier and reach the Paintress. But it seems we've been wrong about what she is. The Paintress is just as trapped as we. The real terror lies beneath the monolith. The rest of Expedition 60 marched on to confront him, Well, I was tasked to warn Lumiere, but it seems I might have run out of time. One last swim separates me from Lumiere, but even with my mighty muscles, I don't know if I can outswim the Gamache. So here I write my final message. Bare naked muscles will save the world. And don't waste time on the paintress. Aim for the bottom of the monolith.
Bare naked muscles will save the world. That's actually not what saves the world, but, you know, that was a very successful expedition, so can't take that away from him, certainly. Yeah, I mean, they learned the truth and came back to warn everyone. Unfortunately, it sounds like William didn't quite make it.
Good stuff.
Actually, yeah, he definitely didn't make it, right? Because otherwise we would have known that information beforehand. Damn you, William. If only your naked muscles would have made it all the way. It would have ruined most of the game for us. I should say most of the mystery. So yeah, I like this scene here, obviously, because, well, not scene, but I like this this depiction here of Verso playing, obviously, because that's mirrored in the ending, Mael's ending, that is. There's another Lumiere record. I assume that's actually a different version of the... I don't think I've actually listened to that at the camp, though. Here's where we see the freakish creations. Oh, let's see. So it's just a grapple point up here.
Nevrons from the Axon Islands. What are they doing here?
Like Axons, they're Papa's creations, not Claire's.
What are they referring to? I mean, she said Nevrons from the Axon Islands. Maybe the well, I don't know about the aberrations, right? The creations, whatever they were called. Because those we don't see on the Axon Islands. Unless they're considering Renoir's drafts, because I think that's what the first spot that we see them.
Meet your reckoning.
Or are they talking about this thing? The Contortionist. That must be it, huh? Because Contortionist we definitely see on the Axon Islands, right? So like on Visages, right? That's where you can definitely see some of these Contortionists. That might be what she's referring to.
Perfect.
Yeah, so I guess these expeditioners might not be like actual expeditioners. These could be like drafts, right, from Renoir, or whatever, expeditioner like kind of copies or lookalikes, right? I feel like that would make a little bit more sense. And again, they do look like, you know, they've got that red kind of weird glow to them, like the enemies in the Renoir's drafts area of the game. Which again also would make sense because he seems to have created them or summoned them here, however that works.
Nice.
There's the healing stun upgrade.
So much potential. Overflowing with energy. Meet your reckoning.
Cut him down.
Yeah, that still doesn't explain why Lunes comments on Expedition 32. Yeah, still not sure on that. Anyway.
Perfect.
So, I wonder if this was a database error. Because the healing stun is here, you know, twice within, you know, 10 steps of each other. So I'm wondering if that was some error that was made. Because it just doesn't make sense, right? To have two Pictos exactly the same so close to each other. Alright, nothing else over here. That's my theory anyway.
Chroma is flowing.
Good stuff. Almost there.
Mael,
Let's go.
I just saw a little Verso over here.
Nice.
Can't jump over the railing. Maybe I should continue. Maybe I should continue. Continue what? Forever. Forever. The boy's gone silent. I assume that he's referring to maybe he should paint forever? That's how I'm reading that conversation anyway.
Wow.
I mean, maybe he should. I still think that that's you know, that's a huge question in the ending, right? And what happens in Mael's ending specifically, and why that it might be such a downer, right? Is if we're forcing this remnant of Verso's soul to continue forever. But I think the thing that I always think back to, though, is how he enjoys the world that he's created, and he enjoys what he's doing. It's when the family members came in, and I think specifically Clair and Renoir, and you know, them causing so much kind of ugliness and destruction here, that I suppose on some you know, minor level, Aline as well, right? Because she's kind of the I don't think she's doing anything bad though, right? But it's her. It's because she's here that Renoir and Clair do what they do, right? So it's kind of everyone's fault in some sort of way, right? But I think definitely Clair and Renoir are much more guilty than Aline is. After all the mess that's happening, I was the only one curious enough to make the journey here. But this place is sad. Sad enough to fight me?
Time to hit this.
I can do it.
63 million. Thanks for the distraction. Now let me sell you the real goods. Hey, there's full strength. I'm not going to buy any of the weapons, even though I definitely have enough cash at this point. I also have so many catalysts that it doesn't seem like it makes any sense to do that. Okay, well that is it for this guy. Good luck out there. Hey, thanks, friend.
Papa is somewhere past the gardens.
Oh, the gardens. Love this place. Not really, but you know what? I think we'll be alright.
Good stuff.
Recut. Come on. Come on, buddy. Come on. Alright, nothing out here. Maybe I should say nothing left out here. Let's go this way first.
Useful. I can't sustain the expedition as much longer.
Ned, we need to defeat them fast.
Flowing. Let us stain them. Meet your reckoning. Well, that will help. Elements, converge! Chroma is flowing. Meet your reckoning. Oh, lovely.
Okay, well that looks like that is probably it for this side of the gardens.
What have we here?
Ugh, another recut. It's just slap in the face. Alright, let's head across. Final flag is over there. Oh, I see the creation is there now too.
Is flowing.
I'll probably do the same thing too as I did for the end of the my initial playthrough. I'll do the Verso ending first, and then I'll do the Mayo ending second. If that makes some sense. Since honestly, I like the Mayo ending a bit more.
Good stuff.
Boy, what is with the recoats in here? Hard pass on those. We don't need those.
So much potential. Overflowing with energy. Meet your reckoning. What have we here?
Gradient Fighter Pictos. Upgrade. here. Nothing in there. I think that might be it. Sure looks like it. Did I check that? Yeah, looks like it. Okay, well. Oh, haha. I figured they might sneak
Well, that will
something
help.
over here. Oh my god, so many recoats. That is annoying. Like Color of Lumina, yeah, those still feel needed and useful, but at this point, recoats, no. Although that's kind of felt that way ever since I
Your
fought
father's been
Sprong.
extra inspired.
A most enticing challenge.
Not really. Not gonna be much of a challenge. But yeah, I actually did use quite a few of the recoats when I was back in my initial playthrough fighting Sprong, right? Because I was tweaking different things and trying different builds and stuff. And then I think once I was done with that, though, that was it. I don't think I used another recoat after that. And there's faster than strong leveling. Speaking of which, did I did level that up. It's time to get rid of that though, because those stats are bad. Defense crit, speed crit. Good enough. Alright, I'm not seeing anything over here. Check the other side here real quick. That looks like some chroma. Or a Pictos. Chroma, okay. Alright, being that...
There. And the chroma we need to bring back Lumiere.
Even I can sense him.
We'd better make sure we're ready.
Oh, we will. Let's upgrade some weapons though. Rangason. I'm going to leave the CL Sun at level 5 since that's her initial equipment. And this thing is only level 20. Oh, this is the one that's got void damage. That's her initial equipment. Is that the one that I used to... Yeah, that was the one I used for Sprong. For the slow. Okay, this looks like most of her stuff is done. Coraline. Dominarum. Alright, she's done. Verso. Dancesso. -1 AP cost for physical skills, huh? Seems interesting. And 20% increased physical damage with skills. Convert light damage from skills to physical. Okay, so this is like full physical. Yeah, I actually don't know how good that would really be. The Noarum, that's that's Gustav's initial equipment, so I'm going to leave that as it is. Same with the Verlesso. Alright, so he's done. Barrier breaker, huh? Never did this. I think I expected that that was going to level when we got it again in New Game Plus, but that didn't. That stayed level 15. Mayelm is her initial equipment. I'm going to leave that as it is. Plenum. The Seashellum. That's a very pretty looking weapon. The Volestrum. Might actually have enough to literally upgrade everything here. That would be great. Alright, that is it. Monoko is last. Yeah, and he doesn't have that many weapons. The Cromaro. Monocaro, I think that's his initial weapon, so I'll leave that as it is. Well, that's it. Alright, that's everything fully upgraded. Done. Alright, let's do this.
Papa?
Alicia.
Please. I just want you to understand what this canvas means to me.
I do understand. I know how powerful and intoxicating it is. How deeply attached we can become to the worlds we pour our hearts and souls into. I was enthralled, and it nearly killed me.
It doesn't mean you have to erase Verso's canvas.
Child, do you think I want to? After all the sorrows we've endured, do you really think that I want to destroy this last piece of his soul?
Then don't.
Life keeps forcing cruel choices. We do what we must.
Grief often blinds us, and we make choices we can never take back.
You grieve for two.
I grieve for many.
The choices of parents leave indelible marks upon their children. But ultimately, the voices in their head have to be their own. You cannot set the boundaries of their life for them.
After the fire, you wanted me to find new joy in life. And I tried. But I couldn't. also died because of me. How do I get from that to joy?
Child, it will get better, I promise you. But this is not the way. Your friends speak truth. And it changes nothing. You can hate me. But that's a choice I must make. As your father, I must look out for you. Especially when you can't look out for yourself.
You treat me as if I'm still 5!
I treat you as if the shadow from the worst day of our lives is going to suffocate you and take you from us too! Enough. I said enough.
The elements dance. The elements dance. Meet your
Last chance. I can do it.
Luna, careful.
Stop this insanity. It's time to go home.
I do love a challenge, but this is beginning to irk me.
fuck. He keeps regenerating.
Maybe we focus on the axons first.
She can't.
Mama.
Believe you're going to kill yourself. It's too soon for you to return to any canvas. selfish, Aline!
A storm is coming.
I can do it.
Prepare for oblivion.
Aline, look at Alicia. She can't be here. Aline, it's supposed to be you and me. You against me?
Go home, Renoir. Go paint something else.
Why am I the only one who sees this?
I won't disappoint you. Last chance. I can do it.
Aside, the canvas is killing you both.
Not this time!
That was awesome. The first time I went through, I didn't even see the Renoir unleashing his power, right? She just went in to write, not this time, you know, where she stabs him back to the ground. So that actually is kind of cool.
Ironic. Your mother was the one who saved me when I lost myself in a canvas. She taught me how to safely use our gift. How to soar without flying too close to the sun. We painted hundreds of canvas worlds, pushing the very boundaries of creation. And she never let me forget that every day we spent here has a price. Yet, here we are now.
So trust her. If she's doing this, then...
I trust
precisely what's at stake. You want control. You want to feel like you're doing something. You couldn't save Verso, so you want to save us, except you're not. Destroying the canvas won't help us move on. It'll just deny us the one place that helped us feel again.
67 years. 67 years I spent trapped within the monolith. But I persisted. I persisted. Do you know why? Do you know why I cannot leave her or you behind? This is what I see every day. I cannot spend another day with living corpses. Since the fire, our family has crumbled. Aline in the canvas. Clair fighting a solitary war. You, a living ghost. Verso's death broke us. Want it to be fixed. I need it to be fixed. I cannot lose you too.
Don't you see? That's how I feel about them. I can't lose them either. I've lost too much. Papa, see? I've lost so much.
We both lost so much.
Papa, I don't want to lose you either. I'm not leaving you forever. Just a little longer.
I want to trust you, but
You can.
keep the light on for you. I hope you find peace. Hold on to each other.
Verso!
I'm sorry. You're tired of painting, aren't you? I'm tired too.
That's... You shouldn't be able to be here.
I'm on skiff.
Why did you run in? It's dangerous for you here.
See things as they are, not how you want them to be.
What?
You lied to your father.
No.
He saw it too. But he wanted to believe. You're going to die here. Why don't you just leave? You can always come back.
The moment I leave, Papa will erase this canvas.
This is not worth your life.
What life? My life of loneliness in a shell of a body, with no voice and no future.
You're my Elle. No matter where you are, you don't need this canvas.
But everything I want is here. Here I have a chance to live, Verso, to live. Out there I merely exist.
Life keeps forcing cruel choices.
Stop quoting Papa!
It's time to stop painting.
Verso! Papa also said, hold on to each other.
Old friend, you've traveled miles, spinning in circles, your blind eyes on the dial, stripping
I'm sorry.
out colors. But it's time to say goodbye until next life.
Okay, so we're gonna do the same thing that I did for my initial playthrough in Fight as Verso first, and then we'll do the Mael ending afterwards. Alright, our drafts collide. Alright, I'll do the play-by-play here of the ending as well. Kind of my thoughts here as we go. So obviously this is just going to be forcing her back out of the canvas.
Don't do this. Don't leave me again.
It's gonna be okay. It's gonna be okay, huh? You've got this incredible power to paint. You'll never have to suffer a life you don't want.
So in some way, Verso could be right here. She could paint maybe a different version, you know, of Verso in a different canvas. That could be the case. So even if, you know, she isn't able to live here in this canvas with, you know, Lune and all the others, it could be the case that she recreates them in some other canvas. I guess that could be the case, right? You know, the question would be is if you believe in some sort of, you know, soul, right? Like if everyone's gets erased here out of this canvas, is that truly them, right? Or is this just, you know, copies, or is it going to be similar to, and I think it's the case that it would be more similar to what Aline has done here in recreating her family, right? Those aren't true, it's not their true family, right? That it is versions of, or Aline's versions of these people. So I imagine the same thing would happen, you know, if Mael or Alicia recreated all of these canvas people in her own, you know, separate canvas.
I will miss you guys.
Also, one thing, you know, slightly before choosing who you pick there, Verso looks down at, you know, the painting Verso and says something like, "You're tired of painting, aren't you?" And he does nod in agreement. So, you know, that I feel like does change my opinions a little bit on the endings. Here, CL, I don't, and I had an issue the first time I watched this too. I just have an issue with this. She knows full well what's happening here. I don't think that she would reach out to Verso in any way. It just doesn't seem believable. Even with the small like romance path that I took on the New Game Plus, I just think that she values her husband as well as everyone else here in the canvas more than Verso. You know, they say straight out that it's, you know, essentially just a fling between the two of them, and she doesn't seem to have any real attachment to him. And here, of course, I think the Lune's reaction is much more genuine here, and I think fits, right? She's just obviously angry, but knows that she can't really do anything here. And it does seem like CL, as she comes across, she kind of gamages, right? Whereas Lune, that doesn't happen, but because she hasn't crossed the barrier.
It's over. Us.
And there is the first, I think that's the first confirmation that is indeed him. I mean, I think it was fairly obvious for a while who that actually was. Though, I have some questions, though, still about what this is. Like, if it's just a fragment of his soul, what does that really mean? Is it a life? Like, is he in pain painting here? That I don't think I fully understand. Like, you know, does that have sentience? Why is he painting? He's been painting the whole time and he hasn't stopped. And he's just now been, given the option to stop painting? So there's some haziness here in I feel like the understanding of what is actually happening here with the small, or the painting version of Verso. And here's a Life to Love epilogue. So obviously this is the real world, I guess you would call it, right? And this is Verso's grave, and the family obviously gathering here. So I would say overall, you know, Verso's ending here, obviously he has, I think there's different reasons for doing what he's doing. Obviously he is tired, he doesn't want to be living that life anymore. Which again, I thought was interesting, that he is living a life in that painting that he doesn't want, whereas Mael is the opposite, right? She is living a life in the canvas that she does want, whereas she doesn't want the life outside, and that's her choice, right? That is her ending, basically. Is she chooses to stay within the painting, and I think that's a lot of what the story's about. Obviously, they say it multiple times. Life forces cruel choices, and that is one of the cruel choices, right? It's a choice between Mael's happiness, essentially, and the lives of everyone inside the canvas, or Verso, or painted Verso's happiness. Possibly also this fragment of, you know, Verso's soul, right? That is truly the choice that we as players have to make at the end. Here, obviously, Clair is here at the grave as well. I think just, you know, knowing what I know about her and kind of her actions here at the end of the game, I always want to say that it seems like she's just kind of going through the motions here because she so quickly leaves. She's only here for obviously a very short time, although, you know, this ending isn't particularly long here either. But you know, partially she, I think, came to terms with Verso's death, at least in some way, or at the very least, she's channeled her energy, her energy where she, you know, I think the rest of the family is grieving. She channels that energy into revenge. At least, again, that's my takeaway from her personality and the actions that she does take. Here, obviously, I do like the Renoir and Aline embracing. It does feel like they've sort of moved on, potentially, or are at least helping each other to deal with Verso's death. The opposite side, though, I think is the case with Alicia. She seems, and especially here, this shot after you know, Renoir and Aline presumably have walked off. It's a shot of her alone, and I think that it just doesn't feel like it bodes well, right? Like, neither of the parents are supporting her here in this ending. Obviously, she's got the Esquier doll, which is effing adorable. Here, if you look, Gustav is beckoning come with, essentially, or at least that's what it looks like, which is a little disturbing and maybe kind of another downer for this ending, right? So, like, is that you know, essentially Alicia actually not really getting over it, or you know, is she going to potentially take some actions here that may lead to the loss of her life in the real world? I don't know. But that was one little detail that I thought was a little disturbing about that, right? You could, or it could be viewed as her finally saying goodbye to everyone in the canvas and potentially moving on. You know, that could be the case, but it's certainly not clear from that, and it's, again, I think the Gustav beckoning is a little added twist and a little disturbing. But anyways, that's my take on the Verso ending. I definitely do. I'll be honest, I do not prefer this ending, and I haven't preferred it. Recognizing, though, full well that it does have its upsides, and I feel like I think I do understand what they were trying to say with this ending, but I still do prefer the Mayo ending. So let's play that. All right, let's decide the fate of the canvas one last time. Boom. Down you go. Take that, Verso.
Thank you. Stop him from painting.
Don't say that. Please, don't say that.
All right, so, you know, obviously he's begging her to stop him from painting. The thing with that, though, is this version of Verso, as far as I can tell, could just gamage away, and that would be the end of him. So the only thing would be is if he feels some, you know, attachment to this Verso that's painting. And again, if he is tired or if he doesn't want to paint anymore, then, you know, this could be an action for him. Though, it could also be because Verso understands what is happening, or, you know, to Aline, as well as potentially Alicia in the real world. So, you know, in that way, it could at least be selfless. Here, you know, Verso says, "I don't want this life." Now, again, I think that that makes a lot of sense from, you know, being that he's lived so long, he's betrayed and deceived so many people. There could be a lot of guilt in living this life, right? You know, who are his two closest friends? It's Esquier and Minoko. And like, sure, they're great friends, right? But I don't get the sense that they are as their personalities don't feel as human, and I think that that is by design, right? Esquier is a doll, essentially, you know, of his like a child, you know, a child. He's essentially a child's toy, given life, whereas Minoko is a dog, who is, you know, sort of also given life here. So I think that's tough, right? Obviously, he's lost his sister. Alicia has been, you know, unpainted by Mael. Here she says, if you could grow old, would you find a reason to smile? So I do find this one pretty compelling here in that it could just be Mael giving Verso a better life, or a life that he potentially wanted. Now, notably, he doesn't smile at any point here. I think that might have been a dead giveaway. And that would have been a, you know, I think everyone would have seen this as a much more uplifting ending, right? If that's what happened. But that's not the case. Though Verso, you know, is not painting here. He is essentially, you know, living his passion, or, you know, which is music. So again, obviously we're here at the orchestra hall, and Verso is about to play. I still have some questions as to who the little boy is here with Mael. I think it actually still does fit the best as the painting, or the Verso that's painting, although I question that, right? Because who would then be painting this canvas, right? If he's, you know, continually painting, right? I don't know if that would, I don't know if that actually works. Lune actually looks a little bit older here, although I think that probably makes sense, right? Because Verso does as well. Maybe CL looks a little older too. I don't know about that, but I see it more in Lune. But yeah, again, I'm not sure who this boy is. I feel like they could have done a little bit, maybe a better job of it, of who that is, like you know, explaining in some way. But there's really no dialogue here, so obviously Gustav and Sophie back. That feels good, right? My boy's back. Also, you know, it could have been the little boy could have been just some random, you know, boy from the orphanages here. Also, there's another theory that it's Lune and Verso's child. I think that could work, although at the same time, the thing that makes me question that, though, is why does the shot when we were coming into the orchestra, why is it Mael with him and not, you know, Lune with him? So that I'm not 100% sold on. But also, you know, Verso does have what appears to be a wedding ring on his left hand as he sits down to play the piano. Now, there's the nod. And he has the responding nod, you know. So I don't know. I feel like if he was, you know, hating Mael for, you know, essentially giving him another life here, I don't know that he would do that, right? That it feels like there's some acknowledgement there between the two of them. And also, you know, there's a theme in the game that's repeated a few times about people having new beginnings. Now, this could very well be a new beginning for Verso, right? At least sort of. You know, he's aging now. He's not immortal. He, you know, presumably, I mean, it's not like he's starting over, right? He's not a small boy anymore, but I also don't think that would really work either. yeah, CL and Lune seem to be a little concerned there, and then of course you hear there's like the jump scare piano crash line, right? And then the camera obviously panning over to Mael. Now, and then of course Verso starts to play. You know, to me, it's not so scary that Mael's face has paint like that, right? Like we know that that's what happens to these painters. That is what they look like when they are inhabiting these canvases. It's not that scary to me, but also I think they may want to convey that she is aging, and yeah, of course she is. I think though it's overstated when Renoir says on occasion that, you know, spending so much time here is not healthy for you. And okay, yeah, I think that is the case, right? I think spending excessive time in what's essentially to him anyway, a fantasy world. I don't think that Mael feels the same way though. This is another world just like her original world, right? She was born into the canvas in Mael, right? And had another second childhood here. So I think that she just views the canvas as a little bit differently. It doesn't feel like another world. It feels kind of like her second home. You know, so I think that, and I think what this really boils down to is her choice. She chooses to live here, knowing full well what's going to happen to her body. So I think the people that say, you know, she's just not dealing with her grief, or she just wants to escape. Okay, yeah, maybe that's the case. But also, she has agency here. She is making this choice, knowing full well what the repercussions are going to be in deciding to stay in this world. So, again, I actually like this ending much more than the Verso ending, and not even just because, you know, Verso's ending essentially nullifies any kind of anything that we did in the game, right? The entire journey is essentially nullified because everything is just wiped out of existence. You know, the only uplifting aspect of that is that, yeah, maybe everybody, the real life Dishonras end up, you know, in a better place. They get over it, right? They're able to move on and grieve for Verso in a more positive way. That could be the case, but also it could be insanely depressing for Alicia. I think it's even more so because at one point in the I don't remember if it's in the Reacher level or where exactly it was at, but there is a part where it says that she literally it's actually painful for her to even breathe. So I just think that a life like that, you know, in the quote unquote real world, is not, you know, going to be as great for her as some people might want it to be, right? And like, you know, I think it's overstated how important it is for her to essentially grieve in this other way, or get past her grief, right? She's still going to be a mute, disfigured little, you know, girl who's also missing one eye. So, you know, I think that it's better to not just gloss over what her life is actually going to be like in the real world. So, again, I totally understand why she would want to choose this life. And I think that's, again, the game states multiple times that is, at the end of the day, what it's all about. It's about choices. And again, much like we as players have to choose between the two endings, you know, the significance of that, though, is then Mael is choosing her life and this life here in the canvas, as opposed to, and who knows, maybe she leaves the canvas once in a while, maybe she doesn't. I don't, it doesn't bother me even if she doesn't, because again, at the end of the day, I think she's making her choice to stay here. But all right, let's get the credits done here. I'm just gonna skip all this, and let's go to continue. We'll reload this game, and then I want to like as the last thing that I want to do here, which was kind of the reason for even starting the New Game Plus, is to go get those weapons. So let's do the New Game Plus option. We'll hit continue, start the New Game Plus. I'm definitely not going to play through another time just to see the rest of the baguette weapons, but we'll just skip this here. Lumiere. All right. Back with my beautiful boy Gustav.
All right, let's go. I'll accompany you there. Are you ready to see her again?
Yeah. Been ready.
Been ready. Let me just see here. Let's see if the tutorials are still on. I wanted to see something with the tutorials.
I set up these grapple shortcuts. Nice, huh? Don't tell your sister though. I sort of borrowed the hooks from the expedition. Come on, Gustav, speed up a bit. Sophie will have already gamaged by the time you've arrived.
My head.
It's so dark.
I can't believe Sophie already turned 33. She looks so much younger than you.
Thanks.
She's popular. I'm sure she already has a necklace full of flowers.
I can imagine. What?
You look tense.
Yeah.
I know what you
No.
Come on. And...
All right.
Yes!
Yes. Yeah, it doesn't play the tutorial no matter what. That's cool. All right, let's see the mirror. I was a little confused when at a couple of spots in the game where it seemed like there should be a tutorial happening, and it just wasn't, even though I had tutorials enabled. So it just seems like they it's a one-time deal, right? You see the tutorial once and then that's it. Ooh, fail.
No shame losing to a superior fighter.
Losing? Excuse me?
You won. All right. I saw...
Yeah.
Did you feel better? I see your smile.
Lively. Why people like to celebrate the gommage is still a mystery to me, but... Oh well. The red and white tree. I've always found it beautiful. I don't really understand. You and Sophie broke up so long ago. But clearly you never got over her. Why'd you wait until today to say something? It's a bit late, isn't it?
It's never too late. Alright, just gonna skip over this. Now let's see if I can find this place.
I can't imagine what you're going through.
I'm fine.
Ah, it's right here.
Fine. I've lived 33 good years. Look around. We've had our whole lives to prepare. We're all fine. Mostly.
I'm not fine.
You will be.
Not fine. Alright, here we are. Current number of tokens, 3. Let's see what you got. Alright, so there's the baguette for Verso/Gustav. Let's grab one for Lune. And then Mayo. Alright, let's take a look. The power seems really bad, and that's already a level 33. Well, we can't go into the menu, of course, because we're in the prologue. Well, I gotta say already, I'm not impressed by the power on these. And again, they're already fully upgraded, so that'd be a little bit concerning. But anyways, that was the goal here. That's really all I wanted to do, was to, you know, get these weapons and get this on video, because that's really the only thing that that we haven't been able to get. So I'm considering this series of videos complete. But All right, anyways, that's going to be it for this one. As always, I hope the guide was helpful, and thank you for watching.